Today on BNI Mid-America TV, it's the Notable Networker Show. These BNI members have been nominated by their peers for doing amazing things, reaching big accomplishments, and actively displaying the giver's gain philosophy. Listen as they share their golden nuggets for networking success. And now your host, Marcy Cascio-Hale.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to BNI Mid-America TV. This is the Notable Networker Show, where we get a chance to talk with some of our seriously outstanding members and get their insights on business, BNI, and networking. My name is Marcy Cascio-Hale, and I am your host. And today I have with me Stephanie Alvarado. Hi, Stephanie.
Hey, Marcy. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. She is a member of BNI Power, and I love the name of BNI Power because it's professionals operating with elite referrals. Love that. She is one of the events coordinators, and she has been in BNI for a little over a year. She is a sales representative for S2C Roofing and Gutters, and she has been with them for a little over a year and 3 months. And I just wanted to say, Stephanie, let's talk about your business. Tell us everything.
All right. So let's see. So S2C Roofing, we get asked a lot, where does that name come from? So Pedro, the owner, actually has 2 boys named Sergio and Carlo. And that's where he got the name. So
that's so sweet.
Yes. He loves his boys a lot. So he makes it know. So definitely S2C does stand out, especially with the name. And then our little logo, it has a little arch on it. So just to show people that we are roofers. We have been in business 8 years in roofing, 16 years in general. We were previously just general contractors. So we focused on doing any addition rooms, kitchens, bathrooms, siding, etc. So Pedro, 8 years ago, he decided he just wants to focus on roofing. Granted, we still do those stuff. So we still do gutters as well. So full gutters around the house, siding as well. During the winters, like around this time, we do like to do any inside work. So like I mentioned, bathrooms, but during the summer or just our heaviest season is always focused on roofing. And I started with S2C Roofing about a year and 3 months ago. Previously, I was a carpenter with a contractor. And I decided working outside 8 hours, 12 hours a day in the cold, it was not for me anymore. And so I decided to take the next step, took my chances of becoming a sales rep. Mm-hmm. And first time sales rep, I learned a lot from my bosses, from any mentors and BNI as well. That's where I got my networking. That's where I had my name put out there. So a lot has changed within the first year. I did not talk a lot, and now I'm just here talking with you. So it has been a great ride.
That's awesome. And so you have previous history in the construction industry, not just, that is amazing.
Yes. I actually have an associate's degree in carpentry. I attended Rankin Technical College, and that's where I learned a lot of my carpentry skills. I always tell customers I went from not reading the tape to now, measuring out a roof or even building a house. So it's been a great, experience.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so I just want to clarify for our viewers. So in the summer, you're more external roofing and gutters, but in the colder periods of time, you do internal work.
Yes, we still do roofing. We don't do any roofing below 30 degrees just because the shingles won't sit well. So we do take any concrete jobs, inside jobs they're doing, our addition rooms and stuff like that.
Nice. That's wonderful. Okay, that's good to know because with the name, I would have not sought you out for inside work. So that's wonderful. I'm glad you explained that. Now, the reason you're here today is because somebody nominated you as a notable networker. And I just want to give you a shout out because that means people are paying attention to what you're doing. And that says something. You're standing heads and shoulders above others and you're doing the do and walking the walk. So first of all, kudos on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I wanted to share with you some of what I heard about you because I the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
Stephanie has stuck around to rebuild her chapter when everyone else left. She committed to her and her remaining teammates, as well as to leadership, that she was going to rebuild and rebrand the chapter. The chapter is now stronger than ever, gets 1 to 2 new members every month, and is up to 16 members. That is amazing.
Yeah.
You
It
should
is.
be so proud. That is amazing.
Has been definitely a challenging ride, but I am so glad we stuck with it because I have made great connections with my current BNI members in our chapter. And in the beginning, when trying to find people, it was just that the rebuilding stages are very challenging, and just seeking out to different professions have been quite different for me, especially for a new time sales and also a new time networker.
Mm-hmm.
So just seeing the chapter grow itself and seeing our outcome has just been really rewarding, and our numbers are going up. So that's where I'm really proud of our chapter.
Well, and you should be, and you
Yes.
should be, and you should be really proud of yourself and being nominated,
Yeah,
because
that's sweet. I didn't think that, so that's
that's a
awesome.
big
Yeah.
deal. I can't overemphasize my love language is recognition. I love when people tell me thank you. And this is a huge thank you, and we're noticing and we're recognizing. And so I definitely think you should take that to heart. And how does that make you feel that other people are noticing what you're doing?
It really does make me feel welcome and just appreciative, just because my chapter knows the things I've been through throughout this whole year. Aside from the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
It has been tough on all of us, and so I feel like with our chapter, we have built a strong bond with each and one of us, to the point where I can call them and be like, "Hey, this is what's going on. Can you?" And they are so understanding. So that's why I'm really glad with the group and how far we've come. And just like how they said, my previous group has just fell apart, and I stuck with them, rebuilt, and now I'm just like, thank God I found this group, because I don't see myself with another group. So
Well, and I think when it comes to finding your group,
yeah,
when you know, and sometimes you
right,
don't know right away, but then you do.
right, exactly, yeah.
So what was the thing about power that stood out to you? What was that difference?
So just like many other BNI chapters, we always have a schedule or structure of how the meeting goes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have a lot of leftover time at the end, where we just network and we all catch up with each other. And I found ourselves just laughing, just kind of like, "Hey, how are your wife and kids? Hey, how are your dogs?" They pay attention to every little detail about your life. Like, "Hey, I saw you went on vacation. How was it?" They just ask you questions. And I think that's very important, because that's where the relationship starts, when you ask those questions, instead of like, "Hey, how's work?" Or you start getting personal to an extent.
Right.
And also, just we've had a couple, I guess you would say, happy hours. One of our members hosted our Top Golf during the summer, and he was phenomenal. He used his membership at Top Golf, and we all just had drinks, played golf, and I got to know them better, and it was just amazing. So that's, like you said, when you know. And in the beginning, of course, when you're building, it's not going as you're planning. So you're thinking, is this worth it? But then when you start seeing the outcome, you definitely are just sitting back and you're like, great, this is awesome. I have a great group of friends now. So,
Well, and I think it comes with doing the do
right.
in a habit, because it's like doing sit-ups or going to the gym. You're not going to get the full results
Right.
in a day or in a week or in a month. It's a process. And
Exactly.
part of that is learning the process and being able to share that with your teammates. I love what you said about getting together and just getting to know each other as people.
Right. Yeah.
And that's how you make the the referral process work, because people give business to people they know, like, and trust.
Exactly.
We've heard this before. And if I don't know you, and I live next door to a roofer, well, I know the dude next door to me better than I know you. But if we spent time and had a drink or talked about family and stuff, I'm going to want to give you that business, and I'm going to want to find you business. So I love when BNI chapters get together outside of the regular meeting.
Yeah, exactly. And even for our Halloween, one of our members threw a Halloween party, and she invited all of us, and we all dressed up, and we had a little costume party, and for some reason I won, so she gave me a coffee mug, and I use it every morning, and I show her like, hey, I'm using the coffee mug you gave me, and she's always so happy. So I'm really glad with this group.
That's wonderful. I'm glad you found your home. That's wonderful. So in terms of your biggest BNI win, what would you say that was?
Okay, so my biggest win with BNI would definitely be just the relationship I built with this group. Because I look back to the groups that I visited in the beginning when I was trying to find my home, and I just didn't feel at place. Just because, I'm looking for, as we call it, the vibes and all that stuff.
Right.
So I was just trying to connect with others. And when I finally found this group, like you said, I just felt like at home. And in the beginning, I'm not much of a big networker. When I first started, I was barely learning the ropes. And one of the realtors came up to me and said, hey, I know I don't really know much about you or your company, but I do have this friend who lives down the street who's looking for a roofer. Do you mind checking it out? And I said, yeah, absolutely. That's my job. I went to check out the roof. It came down to the homeowners needing to replace the whole roof. And after that, the neighbor just started spreading my name throughout the whole community. They're part of the Tower Grove community, so I'm also in that Facebook group, and I just see my name popping up. I see that realtor. She also is like, "Hey, yeah, Stephanie." She looks at your roof, and one thing that does sets us aside from other roofing companies that we do take pictures and videos during inspection, because not a lot of homeowners like to get on the roof with us. So I do, yeah. I mean, depending on your roof, so I do take pictures and videos, and every time I present that to the customer, they're like, "Oh my God, thank you." I don't see a lot of roofers do this because I just go by their word. But with us, I have pictures, I have the video, I explain to them why this could be an issue in the future. And since then, I had just been so grateful with that realtor for putting my name out there, because now I see the outcome. And just like one of a fellow BNI member told me in the beginning, building the relationship is like a funnel. You're starting, you're networking, and at the end, it's just all going to come down. And, all what givers gain is, you're going to start seeing that in your referral groups. So it has been a big win for me. So I'm very thankful for that.
That is wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. And BNI has changed so many people's businesses and personally, they've just grown as people. So
Right, yeah.
I love that story. Do you happen to have a golden nugget or some words of wisdom, something that you would want to share with our viewership?
Yeah. So, let's see. I definitely recommend just taking advantage of every happy hour. I know there's a few BNI members that throw happy hours on Wednesdays, and the first time I went, I met a lot of people that I needed to connect with, sent those emails. Always stay on top of getting back to those people. So that's definitely helped me. Also, just posting, with my fellow BNI members, we like to share each other's posts whenever it's about their business, because you never know what friend group you have that they don't have, and they're looking for that specific profession. So we like to share each other's. So it's just stay active in your social medias as well. So LinkedIn, And even with BNI, just keep those relationships, even though you don't see those referrals in the beginning,
Mhm.
still send those referrals, because like what the BNI's philosophy is, givers gain. The more you send, the more you're gonna see it reflect on you. And so that's has been a big plus for me. Not a lot of people are looking for roofs, so but at the end, yeah.
Well, it's a very specific time when you need a roofer.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So what I heard from you is attend networking events and take advantage of them. Do the meetings and the follow-ups,
Yes.
and show up with a positive attitude. I mean, you've done nothing but smile the entire time, and I think that's winning all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny how you mention that, because that they always tell me that in my chapter. You always show up with a smile. Like, well, you got to start off in the positive. My group shows up at 7 in the morning. Not a lot of people want to do a 7 in the morning group, so you had to have a smile on your face.
I agree. Our chapter starts at 7:30, and so we start getting there around 7 o'clock.
Mhm.
And the thing with having an early morning chapter is, for me, it doesn't matter, because as soon as I walk into that room, I mean, the energy is just there.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
And I love that. Well, that is cool. Stephanie, thank you so much for taking your time to talk with us today. It's been such a pleasure to have you here. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me, Marcy, and for reaching out too. So.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure. When I get a nomination like I got for you, I was like, okay, I need to meet Stephanie. I need to talk to her. And so I'd also like to thank our viewers for coming along with us on this journey. If you did want to reach out to Stephanie and talk to her about her business, set up a one-to-one, or her BNI experience, we're going to put her information in the show notes. So check that out so that you can get a hold of her. And again, thank you so much for spending time with us today. And I want to encourage you viewers to check out our BNI Mid-America TV shows. There is so much information available, and we have the best membership in the world. So also click subscribe and share with your friends and family, and especially please share with those people wanting to grow their business, especially business by referral. So thanks again. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
For more information on how BNI can help you build your business, book your complimentary consultation with Virginia Moose-Keith at discoverbnimitamerica.com. BNI Mid-America TV is brought to you by the Bergman Insurance Group, your trusted source for Medicare information, education, and enrollment. Be sure to check out the show notes for additional information on how to contact today's host or guest about their business, and thanks for watching.